She stops replying the way she used to. Cold, dry, distant. One-word answers that once would have meant the end of a conversation now feel like her entire message. The woman who once lit up at your attention now acts as if your presence is irrelevant. And you're sitting there asking yourself what changed. But here's a truth most never learn. When a woman starts to ignore you, that's not a signal to pursue. It's a signal to evolve. Ignoring you isn't random. It's calculated. Whether she knows it or not, she's testing something deep within you. Not your words, not your plans, but your sense of identity. Will you collapse just because she withdraws? Will you chase her like every other man who loses himself the moment validation disappears? Or will you hold your ground? A Stoic man doesn't panic when the winds shift. He becomes the mountain. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." So when she starts acting like you don't matter, remember, your value was never defined by her recognition. If you're hearing this and it resonates, pause. Take a moment and write in the comments, "Today I can choose myself." That phrase holds weight, especially when you're tempted to react. And if you're new here at Priceless Mind, make sure you subscribe. What we speak here isn't surface talk, it's a shift in mindset. Her silence isn't silence, it's noise disguised. She expects you to react, to panic, to over-explain. But instead of falling into that trap, you do something stronger. You do nothing. And that nothing echoes louder than 1,000 texts. It's not that you're ignoring her back. You're simply reclaiming your energy. You're letting your absence speak. After all, absence is a storm. It shakes what words cannot. Every time you double text, every time you try to convince her of your worth, you're giving away a piece of your strength. That desperation doesn't just push her away, it pushes you further from the man you're meant to be. Detachment isn't indifference, it's discipline. It's refusing to let someone else's behavior decide your inner state. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." So be brave enough to sit in the silence, to resist the urge to chase, to understand that if she chooses distance, you don't need closure. You already have clarity. A woman who values you doesn't weaponize withdrawal. She communicates. She respects. So if she disappears, let her. And if you're still here with me, absorbing every word, drop a like. That small click tells the algorithm we're building men up, not tearing them down. When she pulls away, don't block her. Don't throw shade online. Don't send cryptic messages. Just vanish. Let her feel the weight of your absence. Let her see your story updates and wonder why you no longer watch hers. Let her send that, "Hey," 2 weeks later, and find an empty inbox. Your silence isn't petty, it's power. And while she's wondering what you're doing, you're already miles ahead, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You've redirected the energy that once went into decoding her behavior into building yourself. That gym session, it hits harder. That business plan, clearer. Your purpose, sharper. She doesn't know it yet, but the man you're becoming in silence is one she's never met. She knew the version of you that waited for her texts, that overthought every reply. But this new version? He's different, unavailable to drama, untouched by games. And just like that, her ego begins to tremble. Not because you hurt her, but because she can no longer reach you. And nothing haunts the ego more than being ignored by someone it thought would always chase. Let's talk about the traps most men fall into when ignored. They beg, they rage, or they fake happiness. All three behaviors are loud declarations that you're not okay without her. But the Stoic man, he doesn't beg, he doesn't explode, he doesn't pretend. He simply leaves the game. Not with bitterness, but with quiet power. You weren't born to be someone's backup plan. You weren't made to prove yourself to someone who doesn't see you. That's the entire point of being grounded. You don't flinch when the external world tries to pull you into chaos. She might expect you to spiral, to question your worth, but instead, you rise. You become invisible, not out of weakness, but out of strength. You no longer exist in the narrative she was controlling, and that terrifies her more than any message you could send. And as she scrolls through your feed, looking for signs of pain, she sees none. No cryptic quotes, no sad playlists, just you, focused, evolving, present in your purpose. And deep down, she knows what once revolved around her now orbits around greatness. Some women test to see how much of yourself you're willing to sacrifice for their attention. But when you choose peace over chaos, detachment over desperation, you pass the test by refusing to play. The shift is subtle but seismic. You're not trying to win her back, you're winning yourself back. That's the most powerful message you'll ever send, one she feels in your silence, one she sees in your growth. Because this isn't about punishing her, it's about choosing yourself. And as that clarity grows inside you, the urge to react fades. You're not looking to teach her a lesson, you're simply outgrowing the need for her approval. That's what true strength looks like. No explanations, no closure, no last words. Now, remember this next move. It separates boys from men. Don't distract yourself with other women. Don't mask the silence with noise. Don't run to the next fix. Go inward. Build your world. Read more. Train harder. Refine your mission. Channel everything you feel into your evolution. Because one day, she might come back. She might reach out with a soft, "Hey, how have you been?" But by then, you won't even flinch. Not because you hate her, not because you're cold, but because you've outgrown who you were when she had access to you. That's the Stoic man's revenge. Not cruelty, not indifference, but evolution. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And you, my brother, are mastering yourself every time you choose stillness over chaos, vision over validation. And the more she feels your absence, the louder it echoes. It's not emptiness, it's the weight of everything she lost when she underestimated you. So let her sit with that. Let her relive the moments you showed up, the loyalty you offered, the effort she mistook for weakness. Because now there's no explanation left to give, no need to convince her of what she let go. You were never just another guy. You were the man who gave his presence until it was no longer respected. Now she gets to sit with the version of herself that thought your silence meant defeat. She'll realize too late that your calm was a final goodbye. The game ends when you walk away with grace. And if this has stirred something in you, an awakening, a sense of clarity, type in the comments, "Today I rise in silence." Let that be your declaration. Now we reach the essence, the final Stoic move. She ignored you, she tested you, but you didn't crumble. You didn't chase. You didn't lose yourself in the chaos. Instead, you sharpened your vision. You rose without making a sound. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." And in that line lies your freedom. She may keep playing games. She may post things to get your attention. But you, grounded and focused, remain untouched. You are not in reaction mode. You are in creation mode. Let her search for signs of the man she used to manipulate. He's gone. You are not angry. You are not bitter. You are centered. And nothing shakes a manipulative ego more than a man who doesn't react. While she's still chasing validation from a crowd, you've stepped into solitude like a king stepping into his throne room. The silence around you is not loneliness, it's your sanctuary. She will remember the way you used to show up, the messages you sent, the little things you did. And suddenly, they won't seem so small anymore. They'll haunt her, not because you were perfect, but because you were real.
and she mistook that for something disposable. But the new you, he doesn't wait to be chosen. He chooses himself every single day. She may come back, she may apologize, but that version of her belongs to a chapter that's already been closed. And the man you are now doesn't read the same book twice. You don't entertain what tried to destroy your peace. Because growth doesn't ask permission. Evolution doesn't make announcements. It simply happens. And when it does, everything that once had power over you becomes powerless. You no longer move to prove. You move with purpose. You no longer ask why she pulled away. You thank the universe that she did. And while she's busy trying to make you feel forgotten, you're becoming unforgettable. You don't become priceless by being available to everyone. You become priceless by knowing your worth and refusing to bargain with it. So let her wonder.
Let her sit in the silence she created. Let her feel the absence of the man who used to overthink her every word. Because now that man is gone, and in his place stands a version forged in fire, calm, focused, evolved. And if you've made it to this point, if you feel that quiet storm building within you, then share this message with someone who needs to hear it. Spread the power, the stillness, the clarity. And don't forget, subscribe to Priceless Mind. This is more than a channel, it's a mindset. Like this video if you've ever had to rebuild in silence. And as you close this chapter, remember, the calm you've cultivated, the silence you've chosen, that's your power. You are not cold, you are clear. You are not distant, you are disciplined. And everything that no longer deserves access to you will feel the weight of your absence. You don't chase what ignores you. You walk forward, and you never look back.